Hi everyone. In the earlier video, we have splitted the screen into three parts, and in each of the part we have filled some different colors, right? So what we did, so assume this is our screen, and here we split it in between three parts, and in each of the part we filled with different color, right? So now, why should we restrict only for three colors, right, or three parts? Why can't we have based on the user's choice? Correct. So now we can do that. Okay, so let's try to do that. So I will open the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here we have our code, right? So now what I'm going to do, so I will create one API. Okay, so here probably I will add the CP dead loop before we change the different color. Okay, so maybe that API name I will call this as a draw vertical strips. Okay, so you can give any name and assume I need suppose say 15 strips. Okay, so at least let's first start with 2 and then we will expand it to a different number based on the user choice. Okay, so now here I will create that API. So our API is not going to return anything, so it's a void API name, and it is going to take the input argument, which is uint. So how many parts we wanted to split. Okay, so now for now we don't have to return anything, right? So earlier what we did, so to we used to divide by the number how much parts we have to divide the screen. So earlier we chose the 3, and now we need a different number. The different number is coming as an input argument. Okay, so now let's call this as a uint. It's a part width. Okay, and we are going to have the reminder as well, right? So I will call this as a reminder. Okay, and now here part width is equal to horizontal resolution divided by parts. Okay, and the reminder I'm going to store it in the reminder, which is horizontal resolution percentage parts. Okay, so now we have to run through the loop, right, to call that blit function based on how many loops this parts is going to come. So we need an index. So uint, so we have the index. Okay, so let's write the simple for loop. For index is equal to 0. Okay, we will start with 0, and then we will go all the way till the last part. Okay, and every time we will increase the index. Okay, so now if I go back to the screen here, right, so initially the width, right, it is going to start with here, which is 0, right, and now this one is going to start with assume 0 plus the width of this red color, assume it is 5. Okay, and then here we have the third screen, right, where it will start with this plus this. So this will give the base address of this or the x-axis of this. Okay, so now that's what we will try to compare. Okay, so now, so let's create a variable uint n. So I will call this as a width. Okay, so now here, so let's see, right, so width is equal to, so how many parts we have, so that is the part width. Okay, and now the last part is going to have the reminder, correct? So now, which means if after dividing, if there is some portion of the screen left here, right, so this also we will give it to last screen. Okay, so now probably that I will call this as a uint, suppose say extra. Okay, so let's try to calculate the extra first. So extra is equal to, is this a last loop which we are checking? So if index is equal to parts minus 1. Okay, so if it is a last part, right, so then it's a reminder, else it's a 0. Okay, so now our partial width or this width is equal to width plus our extra. So this extra will be applied only for our last part which we are going to have it. Only for those fraction fields. Okay. And now let's call our blit function. So I will copy this. Okay. So now here for now let's try to use the red color and then we will change it to different color. Okay. And now we will still do the video fill, and our buffer of this red color is going to start with x-axis 0 and y-axis 0. So we have the 0 comma 0. And now we need to have the destination x, correct? So the destination x is this one, this one, or this one. Okay. So now here, so I will remove this screen 1 plus screen 2. Okay. So this will be replaced by the index. Okay. So that index is multiplied by the part width. Okay. And then I will do the extra. Okay. So here what we are doing, so if the index is 0, index into suppose a number 5, so 5 plus 0. Okay. So now if the index itself is 0, 0 cross 5 is 0 plus extra, in our case it's a first window, so it will be still 0. Okay. So where this is the first loop. Okay. For the second loop the index is 1. Okay. So 1 into 5 which is 5, and then the extra is still it is 0. Okay. So 0 plus 5 it is still 5. For the second loop, okay, so now the index is 2. Okay, so 2 into 5 which is 10, so which is here, and do we have the extra? Yes, it is assume 1, so 1 plus 10 which is 11, so that will start from here. So this entire condition will do to calculate this destination x for all the number of parts which we have splitted. Okay, and the y we are not changing anything because our y axis is always going to be start with the 0. Okay, and now what is the width? So width is nothing but our width which we have calculated, which is this part width plus extra. Okay, so now we have did the programming here, right? So now the problem here is we are always keeping this red color. Okay, which is not going to show any difference there, right? So here I have created one array of the colors of 20 different colors, so I will make use of this. Okay, so here I will call this as a color. Okay, so now this is a color, and here we will replace this with color, and then we will pass the index, which index we wanted to pick the color. Okay, so now here we are going to strip the display into two parts with two different color. Okay, so the first color will be black and the second color will be white. So now, so by default our background is already white, right? So or it is already going to overwrite, so that's fine. So now we will split the screen into two halves. Okay, so now I will build it. EDK setup, and then I will do the build. Okay, so now I will go to build folder, x64 debug x64. I will run the winhost. I will run the our driver name gop sample driver. It is printed the white color, waited for 2 seconds, it has split, and now we can see we have two equivalent strips. Okay, so now let's change it to suppose a 10. Okay, or maybe let's give suppose a 12. Okay, so now here, so this parts, right? So this horizontal resolution is going to divide it into 12 parts. Okay, and this 12 parts is the width of each part. Okay, and then the extra will be given to the last strip. So what is the width? This width is nothing but the part width, which is dividing the entire vertical horizontal resolution by the number of parts which we wanted to strip. Okay, so let's build it. Okay, so now I will run the winhost gop sample driver white color 3 strips, and then we have the different strips. How many strips we have? Here we have 12. So let's count on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total 12 strips we have splitted the screen and we have filled with the different colors. Okay. So now in the next video we will try to replace this colors with a some image. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for today. Thank you.